Hi, welcome back to General Chemistry 1. This is Dr. Fang Xu. In this video, we are going to discuss the history of atomic structure. By the end of this video, you will expect to know a few great scientists in history and what they do to contribute to discovering the atomic structure. First, Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton, in 1808, he presented his atomic theory of matter. So there are detailed rules. For example, all matter consists of atoms, which are very tiny and invisible units of an element that cannot be created or destroyed. Atom of one element cannot be converted into atoms of another element. Atoms of an element are identical in mass and other properties and are different from atoms from any other elements. Compounds result from the chemical combination of a specific ratio of atoms of different elements. In one word, what he thinks is everything is made of atom, and they are different atoms that cannot exchange and be destroyed or be created. For example, carbon monoxide has one carbon and one oxygen atom. If we want to create another compound, for example, carbon dioxide, which has one carbon and two oxygens, we add another oxygen atom. But the smallest piece is still atoms, and you cannot destroy them. This theory is a little bit outdated. So later on, Thomson measured the mass-charge ratio and proposed the plum-pudding model of an atom. What he actually measures is mass means the weight, charge means how much electricity it carries. So he measures called a cathode ray particle. It was defined later on as electrons. He used this device to measure the mass charge ratio of electrons. Okay, what he found is the cathode ray particle weighted less than 1,000th as much as hydrogen, the lightest atom. If atom cannot be destroyed and is the smallest composition of everything in nature, what is this thing he found that is smaller than atom, the smallest atom? So he found something is even smaller than atoms, and based on what he found, he presented a model that explains best by his time. So he thinks an atom can be further divided into a positive charge and multiple negative charges. So in total, the positive charge and negative charge neutralize with each other. So there may be more positive charges in the center, in the atom itself. So the way the positive and negative charges compose to each other is like the plum pudding. Okay, so it's like a cookie basically. Yeah. And then in 1909, Robert Millikan, he measured the charge of the electrons. So he further identified, okay, we not only know the mass charge ratio, now we exactly know how many charge an electron carries. That is one negative charge. Okay, then we have a missing of the positive charge, right? So in 1910, Rutherford found an alpha particle and electrons. Alpha particles are the positive charge. The particles carries a positive charge. So it's a composition of an atom structure. So he even finds out that an atom is mostly space occupied by electrons, which means the plum pudding model cannot explain his experimental results. And you should know that the experiment results develops, and then new theories will come up to match what other experimental results are. So for Rutherford, he needs to find a new theory to explain what the atomic structure is. Also, he found a nucleus. It's in the center that contains all positive charge, and he named that as proton. and essentially all masses. So what he says is a model like this. In the center of the atom, it contains protons, and almost all of the mass of an atom is here in the center. Electrons are around it, but they're occupying a lot of space. Okay. Later on, it hasn't ended yet. In 1932, Chadwick discovered the neutron. It's an uncharged, dense particle that also resides in the nucleus. Okay, so now from this point, we finally have the atomic structure that has been very well known to today. So this is a schematic of an atom. A lot of the space is occupied by electrons moving very fast around the center. The center is called nucleus. Furthermore, the center can be divided into protons, which carries positive charge, and neutron, which carries no charge at all. And the nucleus weighs the majority of an atom's weight. The electrons are very light. All right, so this is the structure and history of how humans discovered the atomic structure. So hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.